Anyway, now that I'm assuming we're all gathered up here for this abomination, that seems to be quite fun for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. So, to bring you up to speed, Josh, the party's done a fair bit of investigation. However, that investigation that was led by the cleric, aka the player that you've replaced, involved them getting shot. Some more than others.
And
Although
one,
Radius
not all.
got beaten with a pipe by a drug addict. It went very well.
Hardest.
It went very well, considering how the priest then paid for the medical care, disappeared into the Underhive, and no one's heard anything about him for the entire week that the party's had off.
Oh, he went to the Underhive?
Yeah, he
thought
went.
Johnson-
He basically just left, muttering words of "fucking tech priests," and then left.
Well, that's when we all went off to go to our respective jobs to try and make some money and for medical bills.
No, we went to get jobs. Everyone else just stayed in bed, slowly bleeding.
Basically, Drake stayed in bed. Radius, you stayed in bed for a while. Then went to the Mechanicus and the Chirurg and just decided, hey, you're a tech priest in need, I'll help a brother out, and decided to heal you. He healed you for a lot, though, because he's classed as a excellent physician, so he healed you for about 7 points of damage, probably more.
I thought it was 8.
It was
Might have been 8. I don't remember.
I have the recording, so I remember.
Yeah, so we have the recording of episode 1, which is so useful.
I haven't posted the other ones yet. I'm lazy.
Yeah, well, you should post them, because that way I don't have to explain things to
Idiots
Josh.
rise.
This way I don't have to explain things to Josh. You can just go and look at how badly the party fucked up by letting Arius lead. You let Radius lead, he fucked up and went off on his own. You let Arius lead, he fucked up and nearly got Radius killed. Every time you elect a leader, something bad happens to Radius, I swear.
Well, in
Never
that
trust
case,
a
I'm
priest.
taking control of this group instead of being elected to the head.
You're not a psyker. You do not have the power of mind control yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only control you have over the group is the fact that you can get large swathes of money a lot easier than they can.
Yeah.
They
I'm
have to work for it, we
highly
need to
susceptible
ask.
to bribery.
That,
I'm also the driver.
yeah. Anyway, so going off memory, Connor, you buggered off to go and basically be a nobleman's bitch for a week.
There was lots of weird stuff going on in that hive tower.
Which basically paid, I think, something like 20 to 30 thrones. You didn't get paid a lot by these people.
Yeah.
They really didn't care enough about you. You would have been paid more as quote-unquote compensation had something bad happened, but the nobles you were protecting were lesser and not exactly very, susceptible to assassination attempts.
Well, now I'm protecting 124/7, so you have to pay me more.
Drake
No,
went
no,
and
I didn't.
healed for a while. Radius, you went and bum-licked the Mechanicus for a little bit whilst they healed you and paid you for doing random jobs. I don't remember if you were getting money or if you were using said money to patch yourself up even more, because...
You gave me like 50 or so. I'm now sitting on 62 thrones.
Yeah. Deco, I don't remember what we did with you. I don't remember if you stayed behind to protect Drake whilst he was being healed by that very shady-looking chirurgeon, although he's barely a chirurgeon, he's more of a well, he's basically a doctor that had a alien free happen to him where he overdosed on morphine and neglected his duties or something, and basically here he is.
I need to find someone to properly train me.
Yeah, but Deco, I don't remember what we did with you.
I didn't. I just stayed behind the heal because someone shot me.
Oh yeah, a certain arbitrator shot you. I don't remember who it was.
Probably not from this group. No, definitely.
Yeah,
not
it
from
totally
this
wasn't Amber. It was Amber. Amber, you
Yes.
also went and grabbed some enforcers to come with you for when you go and start attacking the gang people that have taken up residence in one of the factorums.
Yeah.
To which you'll be doing that probably tomorrow in tomorrow's game. As this is a little introductory for Josh. And speaking of you, Josh,
Mm.
your character arrives basically the day before all of this shit's about to go down. You arrive in the mid-hive via a fairly shitty Imperial Aquila lander, so the landing wasn't gracious. You're kind of surprised it wasn't a crash, if anything. Nothing
Hey,
exceptionally
a bad
fun.
landing is just crashing with style.
Yeah, except you would be shot for saying that, but anyway. Yeah, you're dropped off. The Aquila lander takes off as swiftly as it landed. Swiftly being the opportune word. And yeah, you're pretty much left to your own devices. However, you have 2 data slates on you. One of which the party has, and one of which only you has.
Oh, jolly.
Keep a very close hand on that.
Especially if you're going in the Underhive, because that's where... Putting it bluntly, Radius literally lost his entire life story by going into the Underhive. He literally lost everything about who he was and what he was doing. Because some ganger went, oh, this looks pretty, stole it, couldn't read it, and probably either broke it or sold it off to someone else.
No, I lost the who I was one. I didn't lose the what I was doing one. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but you didn't know what you did to get
Yeah.
recruited.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what makes him say that. But anyway, you're given you haven't actually met anyone from the Inquisition aside from the time that you were picked up. That was the first and only time you've ever seen your Inquisitor, and he probably said very little to you aside from what you mentioned, which is, hey, either work for me or I'll fucking kill you. And you're like, okay, yeah.
Work for me, or your best chances are a trial, and even then, that won't work well.
Yeah, pretty much. Although his voice was probably distorted by a respirator unit, as this guy usually wears a respirator whenever he's not in his office. Prick. But yeah. You're now left on this planet. Effectively, everything that happened in your backstory happened a matter of days ago. You may or may not be still slightly shell-shocked from it. That's entirely up to you and how you wish to roleplay it. However, the first human beings you encounter who are not a member of the Inquisition, an arseholey pilot, or some kind of Slanesh cultist, would appear to be some sort of port officials who walk up to you, say something along the lines of, "Who are you, mate?" And then you show them a data slate of some kind, and they go, "Oh, too right then," and then they bugger off. Very swiftly. They believe you're here for the same reason the rest of the party is here. Effectively, the Thai festival of Canopus is about to begin in a matter of days. And you're an advanced inspector. Come here to make sure everything's going smoothly. However, you arrive about a day before the actual inspectors are due to arrive, so you're effectively witnessing a lot of preparations going on. For point of reference of what you're seeing, if you go into your handouts, click on the Canopus data, there's a nice, lovely picture. That's basically what the Hive City looks like. Basically, the further back you go, generally the wealthier you are. As you live in your own personal estate at the very back of this massive hive dome. It's very nice and lovely.
It's definitely me and less chaotic than the place I've been from.
Yeah, considering your planet is renowned for having its cults, yeah, you're very happy to be away from it. Probably, maybe. I don't know. I can't tell you how to play as your character. And yeah, I assume you've either about to read it, have read it, or are halfway through reading your extra little bit of data.
I've read it.
I'm gonna take
Okay.
a pee. I'll be right back.
Sure thing. Considering the extra data that I forgot to write on it about 10 minutes ago, the individuals you're looking for are in the lower mid-hive.
Okay.
That is where they typically dwell.
No joy.
At least that's where your inquisitorial master has dictated that they most likely are. So, are you intending on acting on it?
Indeed I am. It's time for my character to go for a bit of a walk, I suppose.
you've been to a hive world. You've lived on a more densely populated hive world than this one, as I'm sure
Open
you're aware.
air.
So, if anything, you feel as though it's a bit more spacious. You have a bit more breathing room between you and the person about a foot away from you.
I'm not physically touching them. Holy crap!
I know, right? It's absolutely crazy. But
Even for a noble.
yeah. Considering you're a scum, you haven't changed your clothing in a few days. You're probably in some like fairly dirty and definitely worn like nobleman's clothing. Although the amount of like the Malthian society is vastly different to Canopus, considering you're entirely you're on the opposite side of the subsector. So imagine it's kind of like imagine you're in the 1850s. You're a British man. You've sailed across the world, and suddenly you're in 1850s China, where everything's backwards. So that's the kind of feeling you're getting. It's just like you go from a planet where everyone's trying to kill you to a planet where every other person is trying to kill you, rather than everyone. You go from a planet that has the Inquisition coming on it regularly to a planet that barely has it. So,
And you're the Inquisition.
yeah, you're the Inquisition in this part. One strong note is that you should definitely be as covert as possible. I'm sure you're already aware of that, but the data slate does explicitly say, don't go around telling people you're with the Inquisition. We have the ability to deny that we even know you, and the arbitrators have the authorization to kill you for pretending to be an inquisitorial officer. So, there's a big fuck you if you plan on going around shouting that. Anyway.
What do you think I am, crazy? Actually, let me look at my insanity. No, not yet.
Not yet. You will be soon. It happens to everyone. But yeah. So you're fairly accustomed to navigating a hive world, so you know how to get to the lower mid-hive. It's a lot lower than you would expect, as, again, different hive worlds. But you get there. And you see the people you're looking for. Well, at least you see a part of them. You see 3 red-robed men beginning to burn another victim. Effectively, redemptionists on this world, they've been burning people alive because psychic bullshittery has happened. And they're a bit like, you're a psyker, and you're a psyker, and you're gonna burn, and you're gonna burn, etc. So you interrupt, well, you don't interrupt, you basically stumble upon 3 redemptionists, one of which seems to be the voicer of the group, as he's in a bit more, he's sort of like hunched over a little bit, but he seems to be speaking to the crowd, and everyone's listening to every word he says, and he's droning on about something like, this man has abused the heresies of the warp to manipulate us, my brothers and sisters. Today we commit him to the fires of the Emperor. And he then proceeds to nod his head once, and some guy with a flamethrower off to the left begins to incinerate him. He screams out in agony and pain, calling for anyone to come up and assist, but the crowd has just got their heads bowed, and is just, you know, probably doing that thing where they're like counting down the seconds till he dies because they don't want to hear him scream anymore. Are you going to try and approach them whilst he's being burnt alive, or are you going to wait until the quote-unquote ceremony is over?
I'm going to do the sensible thing and wait, because I don't want to be next in the queue to burn.
You're already next to the queues to burn.
A very good call indeed. Yeah, so the burning takes place and finishes quite swiftly. The crowd of about 60 or so people dissipates. The pyres are put out by effectively some sort of vent nearby that sucks up all of the oxygen. Not all of the oxygen, but enough of it to douse the flames. And yeah, the 3 redemptionists begin to, you know, start gathering up their stuff. So probably some like sacks and satchels of like random bits of gear. Their holy books. The guy with the flamer seems to be reloading. And then the other 2, the hunched down old man and some other redemptionists are talking to each other. And then yeah, you walk up.
I'll be walking up to the hunched over man, talking to the other redemptionists, keeping my head bowed and saying hello and hi Goth.
Oh god, the feedback. It's too much.
Wait, what?
There's a lot of feedback coming from you.
Oh dear, not again. Give me 1 moment.
Sure thing.
And it stopped.
Probably muted himself.
You
Yeah.
probably praised the Omnissiah.
Did you preach the holy rites of deactivation and reactivation? This process takes approximately 17 hours. Give or take 10 minutes.
I wonder, when do I get training chain swords or whatever?
Check your character sheet.
I know, I'm doing that now.
Most arbitrators prefer to stick with shock and then move immediately up to power as soon as they gain some more authority. At least that's how arbitrators are usually portrayed. They usually go shock maul for a while, then they go low grade power maul, then they go high grade power maul, and then their other sidearm is usually a bolt pistol and a combat shotgun with loads of fancy ammunition.
So I'm seeing
Basically, they want you to respect their authority.
Yes.
I'm seeing
You're sounding
great,
much better now.
I'm
Yeah,
seeing
I'm
great
glad.
weapon in the book. I don't see great power weapons in the book. No two-handers.
That's because you're not looking in the Inquisitor's Handbook where the power longsword exists. Anyway,
Which is a glorious weapon that my character
it's a
will
glorious
never
weapon
use.
despite being unwieldy. And yeah, so Cyprius, you walk up to the old man. You catch the tail end of their conversation. They're speaking in High Gothic. You have High Gothic, I believe, as unnoble.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think they do get it? Oh.
No,
Yeah.
they do get it. Noble subclass gets literacy, High Gothic, and Low Gothic at start. Perks
High
being a noble.
Gothic and literacy is basic, so I can't use them for much other than reading and understanding what someone's saying.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, at least the High Gothic dialect you're used to as it portrayed in the data slate. And yeah, you catch the tail end of the conversation, and he says, another heretic burned in the name of the Emperor. Slowly we're whittling them down. Although I don't like this talk of them being on our hive level. We'll have to root them out even faster. And a fairly softer voice replies, indeed we should, my lord. And he then turns to look at you and says, he says in High Gothic, what do you need, boy?
Blessings of the Emperor upon you. I'm looking for a dentist known as Devi.
You look for one of our own. He turns and looks to the other Redemptionist. He just sort of looks at you and then looks back at the Confessor and just kind of shrugs. And he looks back at you and says, she is at the church at the moment, performing her holy rites. Cimbria here will take you to her. And he gestures to the Redemptionist behind him. And she, bows. Not too low, but low enough that she's showing both you and the Confessor enough respect as it is, before coming back up, and he says, I must stay here with our brother. Go now, in the Emperor's name. And he, basically just briefly Aquila signs at you, Sybaris, and then just practically pushes past you and goes and talks to the guy with the flamethrower. And the other Redemptionist just looks at you until you say or do something.
Well, he's very pleasant. Shall we move on?
We shall. The church is not too far. We will make it there in swift time. And then she just begins to effectively lead you through some of the, down off this platform, and then down several streets before you finally get to one of the fairly smaller churches that are more local to this place. She leads you inside. Inside, you can see 4 other Redemptionists, all in the red robes with the gold trim and all that. They all seem to be doing bits of maintenance on the church, like boarding up broken glass, fixing pedestals and sweeping floors and all that menial crap. This place looks like it's been fairly decrepit for a while, and it looks like they've started cleaning it up. From what you've gathered from your data slate, this is to be expected, as the Redemptionists have only been here for about a month, so they're probably still tidying the place up. But it still has that holy feeling.
Yeah. Off in the corner somewhere, they're just burning all the trash.
Probably. They're burning it, shouting, "This is heretical trash!" Yeah, and it's literally just like, I don't know, like bits of scrap. But yeah, the Redemptionist then leads you to one of the other Redemptionists who seems to be sweeping the floors a bit. She then walks up to this person and says, "Excuse me, sister, but this one wishes to speak with you personally for an unknown reason." The Redemptionist that you probably identify as Devi, considering how she walked up to you. She's fairly tall. She's definitely not from the Hive world. She is about 5'11", and the average height of this planet is about 5'6", 5'7". You can't make out any of her features though, because they're all hidden by the red robes. Although you can identify that she has a fair skin color. Cimbria then Aquila signs the both of you and walks off. And then Devi turns to look at you and says, "You asked for me?"
Yes, Sister Devi, I've come to deliver upon you a message. And pulls out the data slate and brings up the file for her.
Yeah.
I really
She
thought
takes
that was going to go elsewhere when you said that.
Yeah.
pulls out pistol.
Pulls out pistol, starts killing everyone. Yeah. No. So yeah, she takes the data slate, begins reading it. She then nods, almost in like approval at it, and hands it back to you and says, "Noted. My thanks for delivering."
My pleasure, sister.
She nods and says, "The individuals you are looking for are on this hive level. They are staying in a low-grade medical center not too far from here. I've been watching them. They don't appear to have caused too much trouble, aside from several events occurring within the Underhive. If you wish, I can walk you to them now. I believe at least 2 of them should still be in the place I last saw them."
Don't worry, I should be fine on my own, sister.
As you wish.
Just sure all the valuables are in my breast pocket. Underneath the padded vest.
Yeah, precisely. And yeah, she then Aquila signs at you, bows quite deeply, and then more or less sees you out. Like, she walks you to the door, and you make idle chit chat about how the Emperor is great, the Emperor is good.
You then go to a breeding world with me.
No!
She replies with, "No, I'm taken." Anyway. Anyway.
I was not prepared for that.
Yeah. So yeah, you now you know where you're going now. Yay.
Yay, excellent.
Okay. So you make your way in the directions that you've been given. You eventually do come across a very, very low-grade medical, more or less, shack. That seems to be right around the corner from the Enforcer precinct, although it's 100 meters away, so nothing shady really happens here. At least not without the Enforcers getting involved 2 hours later.
Or at least a cut of it.
Yeah, that's if it's especially bad.
Would I be coming back from the Enforcer's office, or no? Wait, no, I did that a long time ago.
I think we're already at the medical facility.
Yeah, it's like day 7, so it's whatever you'd be doing the day before you go to the Catorum at about 10 a.m.
So yeah, I guess I would be coming back from the Enforcer's office with the extra ammunition the guy said he'll give us.
Yeah, he's effectively giving you bullets, and not a lot of them.
Yeah, extra rounds, extra rounds. I think he's.
Yeah.
I did ask for 2 charge packs and some shells for my shotgun.
Yeah, he effectively gave you 2 charge packs, both for rifles. He gave you about 20 bullets and about 6 shotgun shells, and with the excuse of that's all I can spare.
You mean charge packs for basic? Like I can put
Yeah,
that in
for
the
like a
carbine?
las gun and carbine, yeah.
Alright,
Great
okay.
thing
I'll
about
take
charge
one.
packs. They're universal. Nearly.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, the ones for the pistols are quite a bit smaller.
But they can also be used as grenades. Don't tell the tech priests.
What the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, exactly.
Did I have to start killing my own teammates again?
Shot the wrong teammate last time. Anyway.
Not only are you maybe starting to kill your teammates again, last time you shot the wrong one.
Anyway.
Yeah, did I see this pink hair foo guy stand outside our hospital?
If anything, you've probably gotten inside, dished out all of the ammunition, and then in this guy walks.
Into the room?
It's like, I don't know. If that's what he does, then that's what he does.
Yes.
And Amber pulls out her
Just
shotgun
right
and points
on
it at you.
I am probably checking to make sure the new charge pack is working properly with my las gun at this point. So yeah, that's out as well.
Good timing. You've got something to practice it on.
I'm sitting in a chair, playing with the double barrel shotgun I just found, trying to learn how to use it.
Well, you found it 7 days ago. Quotation marks are where the word around the word "found."
Well, yeah, still dicking around because I just got that training for it, so I'm.
I think I
Air
will have
quotes
taught
training.
you how to properly use it.
There's a lock and catch mechanism on the top in between the barrels. You're meant to lift it up before you slam it back.
That I know, but how to put bullets.
He walks in, and that's the very first thing he says. You walk in, see a tech priest trying to figure out how to load it, and you're just like, "Oh, it's like this," and he's like, "Oh, thanks," and immediately points it at you. Who the fuck are you?
Stands up and sticks you to the wall with the shotgun.
So I've got 2 shotguns and a basic rifle pointed at me.
You're pressed to the wall with a shotgun by a tech priest.
Not only will you be shot by shotgun shells, you'll be blinded by a flashlight. I mean, shot with a las gun. You know.
Well, your reputations do precede you.
I ask him, "Who are you?"
In short, reinforcements.
What?
I flip the safety off the gun. "Who sent you?"
Big, tall, dark, scary. Whenever he's not in his office, he's got a respirator. You know, your boss.
Not ringing any bells.
I'm gonna check his pockets, see if I can find anything, data slates or whatever, telling me who the fuck he is.
The data slate you want is in my top left breast pocket.
Pulls it
I
out.
open his breast pocket a little bit with the shotgun barrel.
Yeah. You read it, and he's got the exact same carbon copy data slate that the rest of you have concerning your mission.
Oh.
I announce to the group, he's with us.
You just see Drake, like, with his hand on the hilt of his sword, just, like, his eyes wide open staring. He just slowly takes his hand off and lies back down, going back to sleep. Because he's in so much pain, because he's still, he's up to full, but his joints are all, like, bruised and still healing internally, so he's like, oh, shit.
Well, if he's...
I moved too quickly.
I have drugs for him so to make him fight better.
Oh dear.
At least allow him to ignore fatigue and critical damage for a little bit.
Yes. And pain.
Not necessarily fight better.
Yeah, but you get to annoy, not pay attention to a lot of shit.
To be fair, I bet he's better with the sword than I would be with it.
Anyway.
Yes.
Any word from our employer?
I mean, everything is going the exact same way as planned.
return to my seat and continue digging around with my shotgun.
So, Pinky, who are you? What's your name?
Oh, sorry. My name is Siberius Escarosa.
Siberius Escaloska?
Escarosa.
I'm just gonna call you Siberius or Pinky when I'm drunk. Welcome to the team. And I hold up my hand.
A pleasure.
Okay, I'm going to grab something to eat real quick. I will be right back.
Okay.
Your thing.
So, how did you find us anyways?
I mean, other than the screams and swath of destruction?
Well, that's pretty much everywhere with those bloody redemptionists around.
The whole damn hive is screaming.
Yes.
And burning, and
Just hear in the distance.
revolting, and-
God, no, please don't burn.
Right off the corner, you see that Amber was setting up bets roll and see how long in between each burning.
Let me guess, a minute? A minute.
1 minute, 32 seconds by radius calculation.
Oh, not bad.
35.
Bye.
the tech priest is correcting you.
Anyway, but really, how did you find us?
The power of memes.
Quite simply, I asked.
Asked who precisely?
Well.
It's a long
Basically,
story.
long story. Turned short. Basically, I asked a lovely woman called Devi.
What the fuck's Devi?
No, you haven't met her yet. Never mind.
Okay, noted. Anyways, well, you're just in time. You're about to do an assault on a Fatorum.
What are we looking at? Generals, assholes with guns,
Mostly
heavily
just-
fortified.
Mostly just gangers.
Factorum 3, one level beneath us.
Oh.
Suspected heretics, possible psychers,
Yeah.
many gangers as well.
Would the arbitrate tell me how the gangers had their thing set up? Would he have tell me that information when I talked to him about it?
Roll me an inquiry. A plus 20, because this guy knows you and shit.
Yay.
And he is kind of giving you field data, so it's expected. It's known. If you have peer arbites, that will help as well.
Ah,
but I
fuck.
guess not.
No.
No. He gives you little to no extra information. He's just like, look, dude, there's going to be dicks with guns, okay? It's gangers. I don't know.
Sadly, the enforcers here are very incompetent.
Useless.
Good for ammunition, and I hold up the bag of just leftover bullets that none of us use as real bullets, and we're just keeping them for a rainy day. And so what I was planning is at least 2 of us head down there to do some light recon before tomorrow. We know there's gangers. We know they have some way to disable servitors and take them over. Bloody things.
All right, I'm here again.
Hello.
Hi.
Deco comes back with some rat on a stick.
Out of character, still better than corpse rations.
Yeah.
Cannibalism, slightly legal in the Imperium. Anyways, so yeah.
Completely illegal. Highly encouraged.
Yes. So yeah. Large number of gangers. Possibly somewhere between... How many was it? There were 35 or 60.
I think
There was
there's
a 25.
potentially
30
25
It's
heretics.
about 30 to 60.
No,
30
there
to
was-
60 gangers, and then heretics, God knows.
Okay.
There were, well, according to the the Majos. He told me there were 60 confirmed heretics, and after they attempted their assault, there are now 25 heretics that they know of.
So yeah,
Potentially more.
yeah.
This
Some
There's
Magos
25 that we
fucks
know
them up.
of.
yes.
Do you know which gang it is?
It's an underhive gang. Does it matter? They're all
Barbados.
worthless.
Actually,
Some are better equipped than others, you know?
that
Yeah.
would be Varn's lot.
All right.
AKA the Barbosans.
The Barbarosans.
That's what they go by. No one knows why. That's just what they call themselves.
The Barbosa gang. We had to run with a few.
Barbosa initiated.
We had to run with a few of their members. Lots of death. Lots of shit.
You killed one gang member, and you killed 5 of the customers. And then you killed someone with the same name as your guardsman.
I almost killed the wrong deco.
You killed.
There can
You almost killed
only
both
be one.
decos.
We
There will
killed
be no decos in my hive city. Shoot both of them.
we only killed 3 of the customers. 2 of them actually had
Oh,
brain
yeah.
cells and jumped.
Into a manhole.
It's not a matter of brain cells. It's a matter of the 2 that didn't run away. Oh, the 3 that didn't run away were hooked up on frenzy, or
Amber
friends
was
on
just
even.
Amber was just like, Deco, you're guilty of the crime of association.
All decos upon this hive must be purged.
Anyway. So yeah. We killed their dealer, I guess. So the Barbosa are probably pissed off at us. So we'll be taking care of some leftover scum. Do you want to join me and whoever else is coming with me?
As you were saying this, I'm just kind of bashing my head against the nearby pillar.
What is that?
Believe me, it sounds like it. And it's gone.
Okay.
Sounded like something was being sprayed or something.
Yes.
I was reaching into a bag. A plastic
Damn it,
bag.
we can hear you trying to eat Cheez-Its. Close the bag.
Stop rustling the jimmies.
Pour it on a plate or something. Anyway.
God damn it, boy!
So,
Says your old Magos.
so
Like your old father. He's just like, God damn it, boy!
you-
Quit being such a dick!
God damn it, Bobby.
I have a name for him over here somewhere.
you okay, Cerebus?
What?
You say you bash your head against a pillar. I asked if you're okay.
You pissed off the Barbosas.
Barbosans.
Sorry,
Probably
Barbos-
not. We didn't leave any witnesses. Well, except those 2 druggies, but who's going to really believe them?
Let one of the gangers run away.
Oh, yeah. That's...
Let one of their members flee. You're like, they won't know. Ah, shit, we left one of them alive, didn't we?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay, scratch my last response.
Yeah.
About to say something stops.
You do know none of us are from this hive. We do not know who the fuck, and nor do we care who the fuck the Barbosa are. Well, I don't care.
That's the thing. They're not just on this hive.
Ah, fuck. The scum were able to fly now. God damn it. Hold on, give me like 2 seconds. I need to close the door. I hear babies screaming.
My dad's name was Maximus Solus Eco.
And now he's dead. Anyway, continuing.
Dead as fuck.
Slaughtered by that which you hate most.
I have silenced the babies.
Beagles. Okay.
Oh, beagles? Okay.
Okay, that was...
Gain hatred beagles.
Hatred beagles. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Please let me put that on my card.
anytime you
I-
see a beagle, you get a +10 to your weapon skill to attack it.
I mean,
I'm putting
not
it
as,
until you tell me don't.
I mean, it's
Okay.
not as good as Hatred Librarians.
I
Oh,
have
please.
hatred
If
everyone.
you want a true hatred,
Amber has hatred penis, so you get +10 on all males to kill.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's excessive.
See.
Cyprius, the question is left to you. Will you or will you not accompany Amber down a hive level to go and look at a factory, basically?
And anyone else who wants to come.
Yes, I'll go.
Radius, you want to come? This seems like your field of expertise.
Affirmative.
Yes.
Okay.
Stealth and reconnaissance is definitely the thing the big clunky tech priest who just lost his identity.
I just need his info on.
On
okay,
the upside,
how
no
many?
one will know who
logic.
he is.
No. If anything, I asked him how many. Like, what's the average Factorum setup? Like, how many doors? How many windows? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, plus I might be able to tell him if I notice anything that's wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Anyway,
That goes.
Drake is remaining here because his joints are still painful.
I leave him one of my. What was that shit called again?
Stem.
Stem. Yeah, I leave him one of my stems just in case shit goes wrong and you need to use it so he doesn't feel pain for a minute.
Yeah.
Urge to poke him on the way past, rising.
Deco, are you going with or are you going to stay with Drake?
I think I'm still healing, aren't I?
You would have healed by now.
Yeah.
Then I'll go.
Okay.
I'm just giving Drake a legitimate reason not to say or do anything.
Yeah.
Since Ewan isn't here to play him.
He just
But anyway,
he speaks and squeaks. He just rubs his gimp suit to communicate. It's like binary.
you say that. Yet if I look at his character sheet right about now, he's okay. Never mind. I was going to say he's the most qualified to actually go and do reconnaissance because he has so much agility, but then he only has 31 agility and his silent move is 31. So I'm like, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, we all suck at this. Worst case scenario.
You won't be stealthy, so getting too close to this facility, you will start the fight a bit prematurely.
Yeah.
And the
you
last
see
thing
me-
you want is a gun going off prematurely, if you know what I mean.
Now
Winky
you
face.
definitely see me.
Somebody have the block cordoned off?
Yeah.
The enforcers have stopped the public from going too near it. That doesn't necessarily mean people will still go near it anyway.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
If anything, I'll go
Rating.
up and ask the enforcers if they have any info on this shit.
Yeah, that would probably be the better idea of all of them. Although you can go and just inspect the facility from afar, you just won't be able to get in-depth details like, oh, the walls are made from an exotic kind of rockcrete created 50,000 years. No, you wouldn't be able to get that kind of detail. You'd just be able to like, it's made of rock. It has a door. There's maybe
Unless-
some.
Unless someone rolls a 1, in which case the world's
Unless
your
someone
oyster.
rolls a 1, then they managed to spot that the rockcrete was created in the year M41222, and has survived the War of the Barbosans or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, a bounty hunter named Django Fett was killed by a pit.
I try.
You are not stealthy. If anything, you try sneaking up to the building and just gunshots go off all around you.
Okay.
And Amber nearly dies because she doesn't run back quick enough. But no. Anyway,
Anyways, yeah.
so
Fine
you
with
all go
this.
down to this hive level that has the Factorum on it. You can clearly see the Factorum from this level as it's one of the bigger facilities. It's fairly close to the elevator that goes down to both the Underhive and the level that you just came from. So, you know, that would explain how the gangers got to it so quickly. Approaching, you can see one of the 3 enforcers that are going in with you. He seems to be crouched down, hiding, well, not hiding, but crouched down behind some, like, broken down car that seems to have exploded at some point in its past, and he's hiding behind the remains of it. With a pair of magnoculars looking at the building and trying to, like, scope it out. And yeah, the 4 of you are just sort of, like, stood there just outside of the elevator. I assume you're going to either go towards this enforcer or you're going to go straight into the building and start the fight a bit early.
I'm headed
I'm
towards
going towards the enforcer.
Same. I tell everyone else to go take cover and stay out of sight.
Let's do the smart thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay as far away as I can see the building.
Yeah, so that's pretty close to the elevator since you can still sort of see from that far. You won't be able to make too many details out, but you can still visibly see the building.
If anything, I'll bring you back the mag binoculars or whatever.
Get another pair or something, yeah.
I just borrow this guy's one. Hell.
Can I roll like awareness or perception or whatever?
Yeah, as long as you... Well, are you trying to spot something, or are you trying to be aware of something? Are you trying to spot if you're
I'm
about to be ambushed, or are you trying to identify something on the building?
Yeah. Either way, it's the same. I'm just sort of looking over the building, see what's there. Anything that stands out that might prove to be helpful or hurtful to us. So I guess roll perception.
Yeah. Not one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That one.
Never
Did
mind
I
that.
call it or what? Did I call
Yeah,
it?
examining the building deco, you would know that this building is, well, it doesn't look very structurally sound. Your combat training kicks in and dictates that, like, detonating frag grenades at certain points in this building will bring it down. It's fairly out of shape. You also notice that the doors, they were automatic. They appear to have been blown off their hinges by something, and now you simply push the door and it falls down, making a very loud bang if you do so. You also notice that a building like this, it's been in control of gangers for a while, and to the fact that you can clearly see, there are definitely traps inside of this place. What gives that off is that you can just about see in the light of the exterior a faint wire going through, like where a hole in the wall is. Fairly large hole, as if it's been shot by a fairly heavy ordnance of some kind. You can see there are traps inside, but the facility is quite small for a Factorum. You would usually expect them to be bigger, but this appears to be made up of 3 or 4 rooms. And at least the first one that you would enter in, it's either completely uninhabited or the people inside are waiting in the darkness. And they've set up traps to basically give you the finger whilst you walk inside of their territory. You can also see that the perimeter of the building, about 10 meters out, is booby-trapped to fuck as well, as you identify several fragmentation mines that are all placed around key bits behind cars, etc. These mines are proximity, as you rolled a natural 1, roughly about 3-meter proximity, and there's one every, like, 2 meters coming out of the facility, probably all the way around. So these gangers are very aware that you guys want to come in here.
Okay, then.
So we get a cannon and collapse the place.
Hold on. Let Deco talk.
I will fucking stab you.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So can I lead the group through the minefield? Because my natural one.
Unless you're really wanting to begin the fight right this very second, yeah.
No, I'm just asking.
You would be able to, but yeah. If you memorize it, then in tomorrow's session, I'll allow you to roll an intelligence at like +20 to identify where the mines are, so that you don't get one of the party members killed.
I'm also thinking we should not go in, instead just collapse the building on them.
Nope. That's kind of not an option.
This is where that idea goes over to Radius. Radius, the Mechanicus, when you spoke to them, they do want this building back. It has a lot of value to the Mechanicus. They will actually pay for it back. They won't pay it, but they will pay for it back. And destroying it, you're going to have the Skitarii hunting you down. And that's very bad, because Skitarii don't give up.
Did they try to tell me the idea of blowing this place up?
I don't know, Deco, do you make it a point that you could just blow it up? It would be easy. Just simple. 2 frag grenades. Building falls.
I will point this out to them.
No.
That it is very. I'm not going to outright suggest that we blow the building out just yet. I am going to point out that a couple of frag grenades, like one right there and one right there, and the whole place could come crashing down.
Radius, how
I'm going to make that known.
Oh, well, I was taking my character card to see if I had feedback screech to, screech at him about that.
Do you have binary?
Quickly covers ears.
Yeah, I've got binary.
Okay. Yeah, I think you do that.
Just start
you
yelling
need, you need
binary
the feedback
very
screech
quickly.
talent.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll need the feedback screech talent to be able to feedback screech.
Okay.
He could, however, just curse at Deco very violently in binary, and it would sound a lot like a dial back.
Yeah, that's what I do when he mentions we'd blow the place up.
Ember covers her ears and just fucks off to go talk to the
Oh,
enforcer.
it's not that loud. It's just all you hear is at you, Deco, from Radius.
Well, just pointing a finger at him accusatory.
I think that's a no in Tech Priest.
That
There
phrase
are
has turned
definitely
into an
a
angry
tech-
modem.
Get out of my face.
Oh god, we're gonna kill each other by the end of this.
Anyway, Amber, you're walking up to this enforcer.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's surveying the building. You then walk up. He pulls the magnoculars away from his face, and he turns to look at you. Says, "You the force? Aren't we doing this tomorrow?"
Yeah. I just came down here. We just came down here to get some information before tomorrow.
All right, advanced reconnaissance. I get you. Well, I'll be with you tomorrow. I'm Thrastus.
Amber, I shake his hand.
He shakes your hand back,
Okay.
and he says, "From what I've gathered, I think the building's mostly unoccupied. The gang knows we're coming, and they've taken most of their people out. Although, from my best knowledge, Vaughn is still in there. We could take him out. Assuming he doesn't leave."
Place is trapped.
I know it's trapped. I've seen some of them. But that would be the work of one Sawney. He's their trapper, so to say. He has a death warrant for about for the deaths of approximately 7 enforcers and 2 arbitrators. He's sentenced to immediate execution on sight. No need for questioning, we know what he's done.
Amber smiles
Vaughn.
and pets her shotgun at those words.
He gives you a smile and like nods, like I know what you mean, and he like gestures to it like he has an auto gun rather than a shotgun.
Nice.
But he agrees with the sentiment, and he says, "I assume you're aware of Vaughn's arrest warrants, then?" And he looks at you, Amber.
Would I know?
Do you have
I'm pretty sure
common law
it's kill
underworld?
on sight.
Do you have common law underworld?
No, I have common lore, Imperial, and common lore, Adeptus, Arbites.
You could roll Arbites at -10.
Do. Nope.
Maybe. No. Okay. Yeah, no, you don't remember. You're not from this world. I don't even think you're from this subsector, so you probably don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's kill on
I'd go
sight.
with kill on sight.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they're all kill on sight.
He looks at you, Deco. Do you say this in character, or are you just saying like OOC?
OC.
Okay. Amber, do you respond to him saying like, do you know what his, do you know what the warrants are for him?
Nah, not from this planet.
He looks at you and goes, "All right. Well, he's wanted on," and he like brings up his data slate quickly and says that he's wanted on about 4 other planets, all for possession of illegal narcotics, disobeying an arbitrator, deaths of several arbitrators on his name. He's even got a warrant from a classified source, but he just sort of shrugs. This guy, he's done some very shady stuff. So basically, yeah, we have to. It's our duty as arbitrators to kill him. Well, at least your duty. I'm only an enforcer, but you know.
I can sentence
High
people
profile takedown like this will certainly,
to.
well, it'll certainly look good for you.
Well, this is a long time coming. I'm honestly surprised Daryl hasn't sent anyone else in.
Huh.
But
I can sentence people to become servitors or to death or other stuff, right?
you can, however, when someone is wanted on several planets, killing him is the only real option. So, summarily executing him on the spot
I
without
wanted to
any
make him someone-
imperial rights.
Ooh, better yet,
I-
let's take him, and make it a shield and let the redemptionists burn him at public.
Okay,
the
you know
thing
what? I kind of want to support that, but I kind of don't want to mess with the
Yeah,
redemptions.
but that everyone thinks that for a second, like, nah, we shouldn't. Just kill him on sight.
Yeah, I mean, Amber, you would be the on-site arbitrator, so you would be the ranking official. It would be your duty to administer justice.
Okay.
These are enforcers. They deal with petty shit. You're an arbitrator. You may be a low-ranking arbitrator, but it's kind of like a conscript of the Imperial Guard meeting a sergeant of the PDF. The conscript still outranks him because he's a proper soldier and he's actually going to get sent to another planet, whereas the PDF, they sit around on their asses all day doing fuck all until a gene stealer cult rises up and starts eating them.
I will probably defer to the more experienced person, but ultimately I can pull rank and make the choices.
Could he?
Yeah. Technically, yeah, conscripts in the Imperial Guard, they outrank some fairly high-ranking people. At least NCOs of the PDF. I mean, a lieutenant in the PDF is still higher than you, Deco. But,
Right.
But a sergeant, or a staff sergeant, or a private, or corporal, or whatever in the PDF, no.
Huh. I always heard that the conscripts had equal rank to a lieutenant.
What, when you compare it to Guard to PDF?
Yeah?
Yeah, but whose judgment would you take?
Sorry,
a,
what?
a veteran lieutenant
No.
or a conscript?
You wanna come over here?
Get your ways over here, boy. Anyway,
Radius has gone crazy.
Get over here.
Hold on.
he's gone
give me
crazy.
Guys, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay.
He's talking to himself. He's going crazy. Anyway,
Okay, so
Amber.
No.
So the
Okay, who's got a shotgun? We need to put him out of his misery.
okay.
I have an auto gun. Anyway, the enforcer looks at you, Amber, and says, "You willing to accept my report, then, Miss Arbitrator?"
I nod, thanking him for the report.
Oh yeah. So he looks at you and says, "As I was saying, from what I've gathered, Vaughn's in there. At least, from what I've gathered, Vaughn and Sony are both in there, as well as several mutants. Got a weird
Mutants?
feeling from them, though. Yeah. About 5 of them walked in a couple of hours ago. About 3 a.m. Creepy bastards. But they walked in and haven't seen them leave yet, so well, I'm gonna be here until tomorrow morning when you lot arrive, but yeah, they've wandered in there. Most of the Hive gangers are gone, but there's probably at least 4 or 5 in there. I also saw, and he like looks over at Radius and then looks back at you and sort of leans in a bit, and just for you to lean in a bit more so that he doesn't have to say it loud.
I lean in.
I saw a black-robed man with a dendrite walk in there with a couple servitors. One of them looked like they had some gnarly sort of chain implant in one of their hands. The other one, twin auto guns of some kind, probably a gun servitor. They came trudging in yesterday.
Noted. And I pull out my data and just type that down real quick, typed in the information he told me.
Right. Well, that's all I've got so far. As for their traps,
I
from what I've
immediately-
gathered, most of
I'm
them
going to confer what I spotted with him to help better map out the minefield and such.
Yeah, considering you got a natural 1, you found all of the mines he found plus like some extra ones that he missed. So he's like, oh right, I didn't see those ones. Good thing we got you on our side then. I don't know how you want to deal with the mines. Assume you've got them mapped out then. And he looks at you, Deco, when he says that.
I do not have a paper or pencil, so we should go do that real quick, actually.
Draw on the back of your data slate.
He actually he takes out a notepad and a quill and just hands it to you and says, "Here you are."
Okay, well,
Go to make a
just
note.
because I can't actually read or write doesn't mean I can't draw, so let's see if I can't draw up a map. Do I need to roll anything, or...
You just
between-
draw up a basic map. You
Well, I
draw
don't
like a
really-
square and then several X's where the mines are.
as well as... I'm going to mark. I'm probably going to mark the trapped cover in. I'm going to mark the trapped cover as well as the safe cover.
And the wire that you saw?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to mark the wire as well.
Yeah, because if you tell me about that, I might be able to try to do something about it.
That'll happen tomorrow in tomorrow's session.
Yeah.
Maybe we could trick. I mean, those servitors are kind of pretty stupid. Maybe you could lure this. No, that would probably damage the building if it was an
I was
explosive.
gonna say, if you lure it into the tripwire will almost definitely set off an explosive of some kind, and
And that would-
you destroy a heretical device, you blow up a building the Mechanicus want.
Be right back.
So, while the idea is good, it would also piss off the Mechanicus quite considerably. But yeah, he then the Enforcer then continues to look between the two of you and says, "Well, that's all I've gathered on my report. I'm switching out with Eli in about 6 hours, so I'll be here until then, and then I come back in the evening.
Stay safe.
You two, you guys. We're gonna need all the manpower we can get."
Right, we are. Hell. And
And he leans back to the car and continues to magnocular at the building.
I stand up and I signal to us to start heading back. Maybe swing by some market stand to pick up some extra gear that we most likely will need. Shit.
Okay, so since we've actually written down the map, I guess I don't need to have it memorized for tomorrow.
Yeah, you've got it written down now, so you don't need it memorized.
Awesome.
Can we roll to see if we can find a gun and armor store? Like a Guardsman Imperial Navy surplus?
Imperial Navy surplus, you're in the wrong part of the Hive City if you want that shit. Yeah, if everyone wants to roll me a D100 and compare it to your inquiry. So, yeah.
And I have
And,
an inquiry of 42.
Woo,
yeah,
I
Amber,
think I
you
found
failed.
something.
Nice job, Deco.
Wait, what? Okay,
Well, my inquiry is 19.
So you just
my inquiry is 21.
so you both find stuff.
It's 1949. Okay, yeah. You both passed by 0.3 degrees of success, so you pretty much find the same thing. Yeah, there's a fairly average-looking place where you can buy some weapons and a couple bits of armor. You won't be able to buy high-end gear, but you can certainly get some basics.
I suggest helmets
likely.
and gauntlets for, what was it, Amber and Radius.
Yeah.
And Sibrius, he doesn't have that much money, so I suggest a chain cloak.
I have nothing, Millie.
From what I remember, you have about 60 something, which will probably get you a flak vest.
I think,
Let's see, flak vests. Yeah, that could get me it, but that's not much of an improvement compared to my current vest.
Oh, but
Well, believe it or not, it actually is. Your vest is about AP 1 if you get shot by anything that's not a bow.
That's true.
Whereas this would be AP 3 against everything, AP 4 against explosives, and AP 6 against someone who's using a fucking stabby thing. No, Deco, it's free. It's a flak vest, not flak armor.
and there
Really? I thought
may
it said-
be explosives in there. So,
Yeah,
just saying.
that-
I remember you saying something
No,
about
it
this.
says,
Yes, Deco.
hold on, give me flak armor. Yeah, it says flak armor counts as AP 5 against any hit from a weapon with the blast quality, provided the wearer was not on the spot where the blast originated.
Exactly, provided the wearer was not on the spot. If he's on the spot, he's fucked.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
It's
shot by the weapon directly.
It's just meant to stop shrapnel. That's it.
I think
It's
we're
designed to
going
stop
for-
shrapnel, not explosions.
I think we were gonna try and buy 2 flak helmets and 2 sets of flak gauntlets.
Yeah,
That'll
help
cost
with that.
you 100. That'll cost you 150 each.
yeah. I have
Each.
No, for 2 helmets and 2
yeah
sets
altogether.
of gauntlets.
How much money
Collectively,
do
it'll
we
be
have
150.
total?
I have 58. Deco has 48, and you have 62.
Now for the part with the math.
You have 158. You could buy it, but one of you would have 8 thrones left.
Yes.
8 divided
Well, that
by
doesn't-
3.
Hold on, how much did I have? 48. Connor, how much did you have?
58. You can just scroll up, and the thing is saved
Yeah,
there
it's-
when we wrote it.
Right in. Okay.
It comes to 158.
No, it comes to 168.
No, yeah,
So-
right. You're right. 68. Yeah. So there'd be 18 thrones left over. So the 3 of you would have 6 thrones left if you surplused it all together.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
we
mean,
each have
it
6
gives-
thrones.
It gives
I'm
Amber
definitely
and
buying the flak.
it gives Amber and Radius AP2 on their arms and head, which I guess is something.
it
It's
helps.
not much, but it will help a fair bit.
It's more than me.
Okay, so
What would you like to buy?
So set your throne gilts to 6.
Siberius, what are you gonna buy?
I'm gonna buy that flag fist because I need something.
I assume you try to sell back your quilted vest, which will give
Yeah,
you 10 thrones.
Oh, that's
Um,
actually pretty decent.
wait,
Yeah,
wait,
so
hold
you
on.
finish 20 thrones.
Can we one second?
Probably not is the answer.
Is it the light flak coat that you said the light flak coat just protects the body, right?
Black coat and flak jacket, they only protect the body and arms, because how the hell is a coat supposed to protect your legs?
Trench coat.
It's a trench coat.
Yeah, but if it's a
long
trench coat, then the flak greatcoat in the Inquisitor's Handbook wouldn't need to exist.
Okay.
It's
So
Warhammer.
the flak cloak protects the arms, body, and legs, or
The flak cloak protects everywhere. It's basically shittier flak armor.
okay, so it's still 80 thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So unless
so
you
then
can sub Siberius about 30 thrones, then you can buy it. Or about 20
I was-
thrones.
I was about to say, sell my vest, and if someone can sub me like 16 thrones,
I can sell my staff.
actually, you know what? I don't need melee weapons. Let's sell the melee weapons.
hold it. Wait, time. Can I? How much would I get for selling the stub auto and the 2 compact?
You said
stub auto?
nothing. Because they were just
The compact
shit.
stub automatics are literally worth nothing. If anything, you're giving him the pistols and money for taking the pistols off you.
Okay, well,
I
I'll,
actually went ahead and did the math, and it does actually come to 0 thrones. It's just great. But what was the other weapon you said?
it's just a regular stub, but poor quality.
Yeah, poor quality stub automatic doesn't come to anything either.
Can I
You
sell
can
him
just
my
give them
staff?
off.
Actually, here's the great thing.
Staff.
I looked at it. If I don't buy the coat, sell the vest. I only need 6 thrones.
All 3 of you have
How-
6.
I
So
give
one of you
him
can-
the
One of you
bird.
can sub Siberius.
Yeah, no, I'll give him 6 thrones.
Goodbye, entire life savings. Oh,
All the money you
basically-
could get before you left.
all the money I had in my pocket before being dragged onto a ship.
Yeah, pretty much. Radius, you sell your staff for 10 thrones.
Cool.
So yeah, you're all effectively stocking up on some armor.
Having 2 to the body and the arms is better than just having 3 to the body only.
That staff
Indeed it
is
is.
cumbersome.
Question, how much money can I make from selling some brass knuckles and a knife?
About 10 thrones total.
Well, I'm never going to use melee weapons because I can't.
Well,
You don't have
just
training
for a while.
primitive.
No, I have training primitive. I just, have to roll underneath a 24.
Ah.
Weren't we gonna get some flashbangs too?
Those are expensive.
Yeah, do we have money for flashbangs?
Those are
No.
expensive. Bear in mind the shop you're buying all this gear from.
Probably doesn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. This shop basically has like average and under, I think. No, common and average and under. So it goes average, common, plentiful, abundant. He has
That's
that kind of gear.
That's actually the name of the store.
Yeah.
Average and under.
The store is called average and under.
Which works because it's in the lower hive.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that's the kind of things he has. I mean, he also has ammunition, so if you want ammunition...
Yeah, I got like 20. I have 25 shells. Hell, I have 27 shells. I'm good.
You have an auto gun,
Yes, I do.
so
then I
I'm
will
going to give you
give
my
you those-
16 bullets.
And I will give you the 20 bullets I got from the Arbitrary Enforcer guy.
Congratulations, Siberius. You now have 2 clips of autogun ammo with 6 spare bullets. Don't use it all on gangers.
I mean, I also have the auto pistol, so
Yeah, you can use the 6 bullets as a tactical reload.
on the auto
Or
pistol,
it's
a
either
third
one,
of a clip. it's
either
it's either a
for
fifth
you
or a
it's
third.
either it's either 1 clip of autogun ammo and 6 spare, or it's 2 clips of auto pistol ammo. It depends if you want to be a pistol person or if you want to be a rifleman. Pistol sounds cooler, just saying. Anyway, only Dick use rifles. Looks at Deco. Anyway, I'm joking, Deco. Love you, really. Anyway. So, yeah, the store clerk is more or less just happy to have customers who are buying actual shit rather than just gangers walking in and asking for the bare minimum of, like, the bare minimum quality weapons.
Yes. You know what?
As he's actually making genuine money here.
Okay, you know what? I kind of... Okay, yeah. I will spend... Shush.
What a cat.
I will spend my last 6 thrones on bullets.
So you buy, Jesus Christ, like 120 bullets?
Where are you going to keep that
Yes. I buy
Bullets.
4 clips.
Buy 4 clips of autogun
at?
ammo.
Oh, wait.
And I hand...
I'm
And I'm going to hand 2 to Josh right away.
Okay.
Tiberius, you now have 4 clips of autogun ammo and a third of an auto pistol clip.
Does this guy have any overcharge packs?
You already has one. No, you have. Oh,
He has none. If you want overcharge packs, go bother the Mechanicus. They'll probably have some.
I was
And
going.
even then, they won't part it with you.
I was going to ask, since I'm an Arbiter, will he give us a slight discount?
No.
Dick. I'll kill
He's
him.
a dick, but he has to make money somehow. He lives in the upper underhive, basically.
Well,
I mean-
I'm...
Hey, buddy,
And he's
since we
he's
did
not
this-
overcharging you guys.
Hey, buddy, since we just did a bulk order, can you throw in some cheap life sticks?
Do you have barter?
Nope.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
anyway.
you're not charming. You're not charming to him. He says, he leans in towards you and says, look, buddy, bought from me a load of gear. You want to get me a low stick? Do you ask for low sticks? And he says, yeah, I too would like a low stick. Do you have any?
I'm going to be right back.
Sure.
Hey, does anybody have 5 thrones?
I have
Yes.
6.
I have 10 because I sold all my melee weapons.
Anybody want to spot me 5 thrones?
4.
A sword.
No! You suck at melee!
You're a part of the Mechanicus. The Mechanicus don't use swords, they use axes.
Yeah, manly weapon. Come talk to me later.
And fuck off. More
You
machine.
use a man weapon.
Oh, dude, I would so use a chain sword.
He doesn't have a chainsword, and the Mechanicus use chain axes.
Well, yeah, no, I can't afford chain swords.
The Mechanicus use axes.
I wish he had shock malls. I have to go bother the arbitraries for one.
You have to either go bother them, or you have to wait until your mission's complete. You do it well enough that the Inquisitor decides, yeah, I'll pay you enough, and then you go and bother some other Arbite on another planet for his shock mall.
Could I go ask? Could I go ask?
You
Yes,
could.
no.
You won't get very far, but
Okay,
you could.
I'm about to go.
You could. You'll see a shock mall as someone's bringing it down on your head, but you won't be given it. You'll be beaten with it instead for asking
Which is
such a ridiculous
totally-
question.
Which is totally in character with the Arbiters. I mean,
I am your sister. Give me at least one.
You're
But
not
yeah,
my
yeah.
sister. Get out, ancestral fucking start beating you with it.
If I wanted to buy an axe from this dude, that's like that's 20 thrones instead of 15 for a sword.
An axe? What kind of?
Yeah,
Just a primitive axe?
yeah, just axe.
this is getting silly.
So once you've purchased any gear you want to buy and any gear you want to sell, you swiftly exit. And I assume you go back to Drake, who's still waiting in the medical shack.
Yeah.
When you see him in there, you see him stood up and just sort of stretching.
Doing yoga
the
poses naked.
Yeah, the medical
My
the
eyes, my
guy
God,
who
my
healed you
eyes.
seems to be like helping him like stand up. And the guy looks at you and says, "Right, I'll need you to get out when you're done. When you're done picking up your friend here. Can't
Yeah.
have you staying with me.
Yeah.
Good."
This is a different medical dude. He sounds
Yeah,
different.
it appears to be his assistant.
Oh, it sounds like you really don't like us. What did they do?
We did nothing. They just want
They
money.
did nothing. They're just lower mid-hivers. They don't like anyone.
Oh wait, could I ask this guy if his boss would be willing to take on another apprentice?
No, get out.
Kill him.
Why can't, Alex? Why not? We need a medic. We need someone skilled in medical.
Do it now. Give in to your hatred.
Give in to your hatred, Anakin. Give it.
Shit.
I couldn't be the only person that thought that.
Anakin, kill him. Kill him now.
Oh god. Shit. So who do I have to talk to about getting properly trained?
Do it. Kill it.
Alex.
Fuck it. Who would you have to talk to? Probably a slightly more professional chirurgeon. As this is just some guy who has bare basic first aid, who's just like able to heal you guys, but he ain't a teacher.
Okay, fine.
He's a rapist. I mean, a medical person.
The next time Radius goes to the mechanical, I'll follow him.
Okay.
You can't get inside. If you give me 300 thrones, I can get him to come to you.
I'll say you're my ward, and I can't let you out of my sight.
Well then, you,
And they still
No.
won't let
I
you
will
in.
That doesn't
handcuff
work.
you to me.
with
I'll
the
handcuff-
Mechanicus, you have no jurisdiction with them. They have their own jurisdiction.
They'd just be like, okay, he's your ward. He can't go in either then.
Yeah, he
Remember-
can't come in either then. If he's your ward, faggot, stay out here.
Or we'll stick some Scutarii on him.
Remember, the Mechanicus is allied to the Imperium, is not technically part of the Imperium.
Yeah, they're
Shit.
they're only friends. They're not best friends. They're not friends with benefits.
Well,
They're
they
not
are that.
married.
They are friends with
They're
benefits.
just-
They make a lot
they're
of
just-
shit.
They just coexist.
Prepare the Cyberdons.
Oh, dude.
So,
So,
Eve Olympus, motherfucker.
My Cyberdom.
I wouldn't even say they're friends. They're just allies.
Exactly.
Just kind of there.
The allies who you like.
They give each other the look, like they lean away from each other when they're sat next to each other at lunch, and they just sort of nod repeatedly at each other, just like right,
Yep.
right.
Yep.
And then someone comes along and says, "Hi guys, you want to know about the ruinous powers?" And they're like, "Heretic!" and kill them. And then they both look at each other and they're like, "Yes, I agree. I agreed."
Basically, they both agree on their mutual respect towards the golden toilet.
Yeah.
They basically agree on a mutual hatred of everything that's not the Emperor / Omnissiah, depending on how you view it. Anyway. So Radius, I believe you have a date with the Magos.
I do.
You're gonna go talk to him about
Okay.
certain things.
And I have to go.
And here I thought it was natural date.
And I'll walk with him up to the Mechanicus fire like always. Because you don't trust Radius alone anymore.
Pretty
No,
much.
oh yeah, no, you did ask me to join you there, didn't you?
Yeah. Radius, rather than just going off your own fruition, you're more or less summoned for mass, basically. At the end of every week, the Mechanicus sends a signal throughout the entire hive city, summoning their Puritan tech priests, quotation marks. Anyone who's not a heretic back. So anyone who's still a part of their special mainframe thing. I don't have the Lave World book on me to actually remind you, actually say what it's called, but yeah. So your microbead basically gets lit up like a fucking Christmas tree saying, "Come to the Mechanicus Spire for prayers. If you're late, you're a dick."
I do my best to not be late. I'm going to be 15 minutes early.
You have a,
Yeah, if anything, you're
Arbiter
there with
escort.
15 minutes to spare.
But
Actually, no,
remember,
I'm
if
gonna
you're
try and be
there
a half hour
early, you're
early.
also a dick.
Yes.
Yeah. So you arrive, Radius. You see all the usual faces, which isn't many, because everyone looks almost identical, with their respirator units and mechadendrites. However, you notice there's a very severe lack of tech priests. There's about 6 of them. But there are several dozen reclamators and scavengers and such who still work for the Mechanicus.
All you tech priests look the same.
As well as some servitors who are just stood in attendance.
Okay.
Similar to how the first time you met the Magos, he appears before the masses. Basically, his entire body more or less falls down in pieces, and it just reassembles itself magnetically in front of you. This guy is literally more robot than man, but there's no flesh on him at all, considering how you've just seen his entire body form itself in front of you, using some gravity shit.
Robots in disguise.
So
One
he's a
point- one
brain in a
point-
jar.
No, he's not a brain in a jar. Get out. Amber, you're not allowed in. No one
No.
lets you in.
I stand outside the building.
Yeah,
This,
I thought as much.
I guess I'm a guard.
Well, you're effectively being guarded. Well, someone's guarding the facility from you and everyone else.
What the
These
hell?
are called Skatari. They're heavily armored and they don't like you, just because you're fleshy and weird.
They're still fleshy and weird.
Oh, believe me, they're not. They don't have any flesh on them left. Anyway, back to the memes. So, Radius. The Magos begins his grand speech, and he basically says several prayers that everyone joins in with in binary. You feel good about yourself. You have an erection. It's very awkward, but you feel good because, the Omnissiah's blessings are being proclaimed by all. It's very holy and nice.
They're just here behind me, just beeps and whistles and static, and they're all praying in binary.
No, you're well outside.
basically, Amber, all you see is the Skatari that have been watching you abruptly turn around, face in a certain direction, which is in your case against a wall, and they just begin beeping, buzzing, and sort of humming and murmuring in their weird tech language for about a solid minute before they turn back and continue staring at you, making sure you don't try to break in or anything. It's all very glorious.
I take up my post like a normal enforcer. I take up post at some door and just guard it. Whatever door Radius went into, I'm guarding that door.
You're guarding it with about 6 other Skatari.
Good. More reinforcement.
You stand out. But yeah,
You need a red robe. You'll blend in more that way.
I have red hair.
believe me, you won't. Anyway, Radius. Yeah, so eventually the prayers stop. Mass finishes. The Magos begins to walk down the steps that he was stood on and just has some idle conversation with some of the other tech priests. The reclamators all bugger off back into their little hidey holes to go and scavenge more shit. The servitors continue to stand there doing nothing because they haven't been commanded to do anything more. And the tech priests are just sort of murmuring and talking to each other about random shit.
I'm going to.
You do also see your chirurgeon friend, who's just sort of stood there talking to Sela, I think her name is.
I'm going to approach the Magios and his posse.
Yeah, so he's effectively talking to the tech priest that led you to Sela, as well as another one who you haven't met. But the two of them are dismissed when you walk up, and he looks at you and says, "Greetings, Radius."
Do I have his name here?
You've heard his name.
I have. I'm looking if I have a note about that. I do not.
It's Gary. Magos Gary.
Iacton. He is Magos Iacton of Columbus.
Majos Icon. Well met, Majos Icon. I was wondering if I could ask you a favor when we're done here.
The prayers have been finished. Your favor may be asked.
In private, if I may.
Of course. Head to the elevator behind you and meet me in my room.
I make the sign of the cog and bow and proceed to the elevator.
Yeah. As you make your way to the elevator, you turn back. He's doing his thing again, where he's basically being magnetically pulled back up to his room in several pieces.
I am God.
Prepare the Cyberdoms.
Exactly.
Pretty fucking jealous of this dude.
Yeah. By the time you get up there, Radius, he's already looking through several data slates with his back to you. Josh, to give you an idea of scale of this tech priest, he's about the size of a space marine, so he's a good 8 feet tall, and he's just completely made of metal. He has about 6 mechadendrites coming off of him. He's basically Dr. Octopus, but metal.
So basically,
And a hell of
he's
a
a
lot.
Grand Magus.
Yeah.
He's a fairly big deal, yeah. He came from somewhere, and yet he's stuck on this shithole.
You see Amber standing in the corner somewhere, guarding the corner.
Frapping herself half to death with a fucking cyberdong. Yeah, I get you, okay. So you reach this floor, Radius, and Iacton continues to read from his data slate, but 2 optical mechadendrites just staring, watching you as you approach.
I guess that counts as eye contact.
More or less. It's as close as you're gonna get with this guy.
Noble Majos, I was wondering if I could ask you something.
Hold on real quick. But when we all got after the shopping thing, I would have told Radius about how we know that there are heretics within the... At least one heretic within the Factorum. I would have told him that in private.
Alright. Continue, Radius.
Continue. You not know about heretics.
Well, I said that. That was a statement, and I'm waiting for him to respond.
What did you say, sorry?
I cordialously introduced myself again and asked him if I could inquire about something.
He continues reading his data slate, but he says, granted.
I was wondering if you had access to my personnel files.
He puts a data slate down, and some servo skulls come and bring him another data slate, and he says, I personally know very little about you from your files. Most of it has been redacted by higher powers within the Mechanicus. I only
And-
have on record that you originated from Hash.
And you have no access to these Shit, I'm blanking on the word.
Archives?
No, fucking classifications, security clearances. One of those words.
Ah.
God, I'm fucking blanking hard right now. But yeah,
Okay,
one
I
of those
think I-
words. You take your pick.
Yeah. So he puts one of the data slates aside for a moment and then actually looks at you with his own cybernetic eyes. He says, "I have requested access to such files. I have yet to receive a response.
Hmm.
It will take time."
You
Very
know it's
well,
gonna take a
Magus.
long time when tech pre just says time.
Yeah. He didn't even clarify how much, just time.
Come back in 300 years. I might have
3,000
something.
years later.
In 12,000 cycles.
Figures is probably is that for him. For him, he's getting data from about a subsector away, and he needs to have clearance, then send a request for it. It's probably going to take about 1,200 rotations for this guy to actually get any kind of data. And that's just for them to send, like, that could be anything. So they could literally send back something along the lines of, "No, fuck off." It would have taken 1,200 days just for them to say, "No, we're not letting you."
It just all it
Insert
says
clearance code here.
is, all it says is that's classified.
Yeah, exactly. It just returns with a file stated with your name, your date of birth, the planet where you were born, the city you were born in, and a massive a word written in the biggest font possible saying "classified" with 2 asterisks next to it. And everything is blacked out and redacted.
Like, everything else just dipped in some oil so you can't read it.
Exactly.
Anything else, and I would have sworn they would send an assy middle finger.
Exactly.
I'm going to convey to him again that we're planning our assault on the building tomorrow. That we do have confirmation that there is one heretic in the building. At least I think that's what Connor was telling me earlier.
There's one heretic, 2 servitors of some. One's a gun servitor for sure, and possible and definitely mutants as well. Gangers have left the area. Most have left.
I'm gonna tell him how booby trapped the facility is. And again, I'm gonna make a point that the Mechanicus should be taking back its own facilities, and that we should probably want the people to see the Mechanicus doing that. So if you could even send, like, just anything, if not even come with us, to make our assault.
And then,
No,
He looks at you and says, "Affirmative. I will send 1 monotask servo skull to witness you." We'll use the ventilation to record the events of inside.
and it just ends the bathroom for like the entire time.
Yeah, it flies into the wrong vent, goes straight down into the underhive, and actually record like some like gang turf war between heretics and them, and it's just like, yes, look at the Mechanicus doing their work, and it's actually bad people against the worst. But yeah, he looks at you and just says that. His optical eyes to like just focus and unfocus, and that's the only noise you get is just a.
I tell him affirmative, and I thank him, and I depart.
Ask him if he can get your friend some medical training.
Crying a little.
He won't. Radius won't.
Yeah, no, I thank
He's
him.
he's already exiting. Yeah. So yeah, you turn around and exit. The Magos basically gets dismantled in front of you, and his torso then gets like raised up. You raise me up, or into the like ceiling where he's probably doing some like, I don't know, looking around and shit and all that.
It's just a bunch
and then,
of
yeah,
wires and he disappears.
Yeah, he disappears into a lot of wires and servitors that are in the ceiling and all that shit. They're in the walls anyway. So you go down the elevator to the main floor again. it's pretty much gone back to normal now. All the tech priests have gone off back to their original stations. The reclamators have all gone back to the Underhive to go and scavenge for bits and pieces and look out for heretics.
Mm-hmm.
The servitors are back doing their general maintenance and assistance work. You do notice, however, a servo skull seems to be following you. Great big Adeptus Mechanicus symbol on its forehead as well.
That
With what appears to be some recording equipment, like a picked recorder in one side of its face. The left side of the skull is just completely replaced with a picked recorder.
I'm gonna stop in my path and examine the servitor.
It's a servo skull. It's not a servitor.
If it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
servitor,
Servo
Amber
skull.
might have shot it.
Yeah. Yeah. It just hovers there, slowly bobbing up and down very slightly. Just the picked recorder zooming in and out of your face.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna continue on my way to the exit, having confirmation that that was the servo skull that's supposed to be following me.
Yeah. It continues following you.
I am now officially Mario 64.
Nice. So yeah, Amber, you walk out, and yeah, you see Radius stalked by this servo skull walking out.
Oh God, Radius, did you steal that thing?
Negative.
Did you kill someone and
Yeah,
make
would've
that
been
thing?
impressive.
This has been recommissioned by the Majos of... Shit, what world are we even on?
Canopus.
Shithole. It
By
doesn't
the
matter.
Majos of
Kanapa.
of Canopus.
I just imagine the two of you are talking, like you're looking up at him, and as he looks down at you, and this servo skull is just like in the background between the two of you, just looking between the two of you as you're talking.
I'm looking at the servo skull a lot like
It's like a noir film.
he could have sent one of his bodyguards with him and just over to the several Skitari that been eyeballing me, probably making jokes about me as well.
Oh yeah, they're still looking at the two of you even now.
Yeah.
Negative. The Mechanicus on this world are short enough staffed as is.
Eh,
We did not have proper forms for acquisitions.
Short staff. They have 6 people guarding a door.
There's
Yeah, but
Skitari!
remember the other day you
That's
told me like the
short staff for
numbers
the
that they had?
Mechanicus.
Yeah, I
Said
know.
he
I
couldn't
told
do
you the
it.
numbers, but yeah.
Okay.
Shit, man, that's at least what he told me.
Yeah, these 6 Skitari, are 1/3 of this Skitari force they have here. They have like 18 of them, and 12 of them are out doing something, and these 6 are guarding a fucking door.
Skitari could probably take down Space Marine. Maybe like 2 for 1.
One Skitari could go into the factory room, kill everyone in it, and come back, and would have only suffered minor damage. At
And that's
best.
after triggering every mine by
And
himself.
that's after triggering every mine
And going through
on
a wall.
purpose. And he
Yeah.
doesn't use the front door, he blows through a wall. Like, Skitari, their basic armaments are hellguns and chainswords, wearing carapace armor. They're fucking lethal.
And all internally
So-
linked, never running out of ammo.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
They have unlimited.
I'm gonna talk to Amber about basic planning and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Amber's gonna
We
poke
should-
the skull.
While you're
Should-
doing that, I'm gonna quickly go to the toilet.
we should
I'm going
probably
this way as well.
hit the target in the wee hours of the morning when the gangers are likely to be unconscious from their drugs.
Well, once you said something intelligence, I was actually thinking the same thing. Hitting them either early in the morning or in dead middle of the night. At some point where they wouldn't be expecting a siege.
In the middle of the night, they'll be well in the thralls of their addiction.
Exactly. And once they start popping up, never mind, yes. Wait till early morning when they start coming off and are all droggy.
4 a.m. seems to be the optimum time. I suggest we reconvene at the site then.
You see, Ariel's looking at that servo skull. What can that thing do, by the way?
It takes pictures and films.
You think you can access it and use it as our eyes? Have it look through some of the windows of the building or whatever, and just do some extra mid scouting before we do the actual siege?
I can see if I can access the feed.
And then you go back up the elevator and go talk to your friend.
I is back.
Hello.
Alex, can I access the footage of the servo skull and get a direct feed from it?
You can tech use it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna tech use that little fucker.
Don't break it, or else
Okay.
the Megas will be mad.
Okay,
Yeah,
it'll
it's a
just be
servo
it'll just be a flat tech use.
Oh god.
That's a 98. Yeah, you.
Would you like to faint point this?
Fade it.
Yeah, I'm gonna fate point that.
Bear in mind, if you fate point now, you'll have one less fate point tomorrow.
Oh,
Any
fine.
fate you use,
I'm
any
not
fate you
going to
use
fate
now, you
point
won't
it.
have later.
fuck.
Okay.
That's
I have one fate point. I can't fate point that.
Yeah.
the Megas are gonna be pissed.
So yeah, in a very vague attempt to try and effectively link the servo skull with your data slate or a data slate, you not only break the data slate you're trying to use, you cause something very negative to happen in the servo skull, to the point where the red light that was blinking to indicate it was recording turns off. Its gravity emitter turns off as well, so it just very, very rapidly falls and hits the ground with a very loud
Can I
plunk.
try to catch it at least or something?
Roll me an agility test. And if you pass, you catch it.
What did you do?
He broke a servo skull.
He doesn't know what he did.
Nope.
No, you drop it, it lands on the ground with a loud thud.
And I fell on my ass trying to catch it.
Amber.
Oh,
You
I
didn't fell
kinda-
that hard. It just fell, and neither of you could catch it in time.
Well, I kind of want to interrupt with one thing. Fate points.
Anything
I
you use
have
now
one.
carries over till tomorrow.
Any you use now, you won't have tomorrow, because there's not
Right.
enough time between. There's not enough time between now and the session tomorrow where you'll be in combat, so they won't refresh by
Yeah.
then.
All right.
Yeah, I've only got one. I'm not gonna waste that for this.
Yeah.
There needs to be at least a 24-hour gap between using a fate point and getting it back.
Right.
Oh,
And
I will
considering
keep
the
that
time
in
of
mind.
day,
So I'm gonna take the servo skull and tuck it into my robe,
Nope.
along
Yeah,
with
when-
the
when-
data
you
slate.
bear in mind, you just did this with 6 heavily armored and armed witnesses who are all watching you at the time. So they just see you turn to the servo skull, try fiddling with it, it falls to the ground, and you immediately tuck it in their pocket. So the 6 Skitari look between each other for a moment.
Oh,
no, they
I
don't. They're all
I didn't
internally
do it
linked.
like stealthily or anything. I just put it.
No,
into
but they
my person.
literally they just stare at you for a moment, and then all of their standard blue lights go red. And they
Amber
all just
arms
want,
goes up and
Their fingers and hands begin to twitch around their hell guns, and they slowly begin to raise them and point them at you. And one of them says, "Drop the skull."
Amber Orange goes up. She spent time with the
I
guitar. She knows how
carefully
to
and
kill.
slowly put the skull on the ground.
Their weapons lower as the skull touches the ground, and the Skitari that spoke to you goes over and picks it up, examines it for a moment, and then just puts it on his effectively puts it on his backpack, and he just stares at the two of you.
I'm
And
gonna
then,
look at him and tell him that I was going to attempt repairs.
You could have just asked the Megos about this. You didn't.
He looks at you, Radius, and in binary just says, "Shame on you, tech priest."
Amber has her.
And he turns and walks inside of the Mechanicus spire.
Amber has
Oh,
her.
there goes
one piece
any-
of help. The one piece of help.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
You see, Amber just buries her face into her hand, just groaning like, "Oh God, why did you just ask? I didn't ask you to hack it. You could have just asked the Megos."
And yeah, depending on how long you stay around, if it's longer than 10 minutes, he says, waiting for a, "Yeah, we wait 10 minutes." Or a, "No, we get the fuck out of here." Do you wait around, or are you gonna leave?
Amber,
Shit. This is where I was gonna sleep tonight.
Amber
Or
thinks for
not sleep.
Let me think. We just pissed off several Skatari, possibly the Megals. I don't have jurisdiction here, and Ember's to start fuck off.
Yeah, Amber, you're looking at the 6 people who have your jurisdiction whilst in this place, so they have the powers of an arbitrator whilst you're here.
Can I leave?
To be fair, it was the tech priest's fault.
Yeah, I mean they have no beef with you, Amber. It's just you're an outsider, so they're kind of regarding you with a bit of a stay at arm's length, please. Whereas Radius kind of just broke one of their technologies, so they're not going to be too happy about
You
that.
know the sad factor is he broke a servo skull, which is kind of sacred. So he really just spit on a cross in their book, more or less.
Yeah.
No, he didn't spit on it. He threw it against the ground and pissed on it.
And then turned it upside down.
More like I tried to modify the cross,
And he made a
and
pentagon.
Jesus fell off of it and broke.
I tried to make the cross better, but Jesus fell off and broke.
Exactly. But yeah, how long do you
trying to update
guys how long do you guys wait around here? The 2 of you.
I guess if I leave...
Amber fucked off.
No,
I'm gonna
no.
accept my fate.
Hold on. If I leave, I know I'll be safe. But Radius probably is gonna die. If I stay, maybe Radius won't die. Because I don't know if he does get out of this alive, he'll get robbed on his way back and lose everything again.
He probably will.
So
to be
Amber's
fair.
just gonna babysitting duty and just
Yeah.
stay there. Still,
Yeah.
her hands on her face just groaning like this cannot
Yeah.
get any worse.
So
You
Eventually,
should be babysitting Noble. You're stuck with
eventually the
tech
Skatari comes back out, accompanied by a tech priest, who Radius you recognize as the tech priest who showed you to Seela, who's an engineer. This one,
shoot out.
yeah. He walks outside, looks at you, and you can see he doesn't look too happy. He looks fairly cross. And you can see like inside, you can see there's like a small growing number of like reclamators who are all talking to each other and looking at you as the doors are closing. And you can see one of them is holding the servo skull in their hands and they're like looking at it. You can see tears are going down the cheeks of this one reclamator's face, and he's like showing it to the others, and the others are just sort of like looking at it. Yeah, they're all patting him on the shoulders, just like they're there, my dude, they're there.
They're stroking it, going, it's gonna be okay, it'll be
turned out like
okay,
this
it's all
was-
over now.
The service skull you broke was the skull of his father.
Yeah, or some shit like that. Yeah.
He's all crushed.
And the tech priest dismisses the Skatari in binary, and he just looks at you, Radius, and he just crosses his arms, doing that dad thing where he's just so disappointed in you, and he just crosses his arms and he just stares at you and just shakes his head very slowly. It's like, no, what? And like after a moment, he just lets out a sigh and just goes, "What did you do?"
I attempted to access the Servo Skull's data stream for direct viewing to this. I present the broken data slate to him.
His
To
eyes
this data
widen.
slate.
His eyes widen and says, "Not only did you deactivate a servo skull prematurely, causing it to break slightly, you broke a data slate." And he just face palms really slowly. It's like he's never done a face palm before, so he just looks at his hand for a moment and just slowly raises his hand and moves his head into his hand as well.
Are they saying this in Gothic or in binary?
This is in low Gothic.
They want everyone to know how inept this tech priest is right now.
Yeah.
Sir Tech Priest, can I interject?
He looks at you. He quickly moves his hand out of it, his head out of his hand. And he looks at you and says, "What is it?"
Emphasize. We're going to go take back a Factorum for the Mechanico.
Oh, so
was-
you're with him then.
Yes. Sadly, yes. I am his babysitter.
Do you have any part in breaking him, you fleshbag idiot?
Breaking
Negative.
breaking Radius or breaking the skull? Which one?
As soon as he said that, I put one hand on Amber's shoulder and said negative.
He looks at you again and says, "Do not answer for the meat bag." And he says that in binary. And he turns back to you, Amrin, and says in Logothic, "I'll repeat. Did you assist in breaking it?"
No, no.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
He looks at you and just says, "I don't believe you."
Okay.
I put a firm hand on his shoulder. Listen
Prepare the
here,
cyber dolls.
you malfunctioning
Nope,
piece of
nope.
rusted bolts. You may be cross with me for my malfunctions, but you will not address my charges as such.
Ever feel?
He looks at you, and as you're saying this, the
All in binary.
six Skitarii behind you just sort of look at you as well. And he's just got this complete look of shock and utter horror on his face at you.
I should have left.
He just backs away a little bit so that you're not touching him
Our tech
anymore.
priest has the giant brass balls.
Yeah.
Radius is going to die, and everyone will die with him because she stays.
He looks at you, Radius, and just shakes his head, and then just like walks back inside of the facility. The Skitarii now have their guns pointed at you. Specifically you, Radius, not you, Amber. They don't care about you.
Yeah.
Good, that-
they do
that was
have
my
their hell guns
plan.
pointed at you, Radius. Like a moment later, the doors open again. You see the same 6 tech priests walk outside and almost like surround you. They've all got their hoods up and their arms are like tucked into the sleeves of their
Die.
robes. Mechadendrites are like just hunkered, like lowered down and have like wrapped around their shoulders in between their arms. And you see, believe it or not, for the first time in probably several years, the Magos actually steps outside.
Oh god
Ben.
damn it!
And he's just looking down at you,
Are you sure
Radius.
you should have used your fate point?
Amber,
We're about to
run.
lose our tech freeze. We're about to
Amber,
lose the tech
run!
freeze.
Yeah, Radius.
Yeah, Amber, you should leg it.
The Magos just looks down at you and just says, Radius, Solus, Ego, you have damaged Servo Skull 12396 Alpha Bravo Tango, Omnicron 17C. You have also damaged a data slate serial number hashtag 011919217256.
He looked at it for 2
You have
seconds.
also
That's actually
insulted. You have also insulted Technographer Enoch. You have committed a total of 1 minor heresy.
Amber is putting her face in her hand. We're gonna die.
Just-
We're going to
Just
die.
run.
Yeah, he looks at you, Radius, and just says, we no longer recognize you as one of us.
Oh shit!
And his eyes, like when you look up at this guy and he's looking down at you with his eyes, you can feel his eyes piercing you. And he doesn't even have eyes. He's got cybernetic lenses, and you can feel them looking deep into your soul.
So Alex, am I not Mechanicus on this world, or am I just not Mechanicus now?
Depends on how
Considering how
people
this guy is a very powerful Magos within the subsector, you might want to leave the Calixus sector if you want to remain a part of the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Go back to
Fucking hell! We fucked up that badly.
He rolled a 98. If he had rolled a 100, he would have just been killed on the spot. And Amber, you would have been taken into custody, but instead this is happening.
Can I spend that fate point?
No.
Too late now.
Too late now, boy. You said you were going to accept your fate, so
We should have
Yeah.
fucked
this is
up.
you
Oh,
accepting
God.
your fate.
We should have fucked up. If we would have fucked up, they would have sent Skitarii after us.
He looks at you and says, he just stares at you for a moment. You notice something very weird. You notice the gravity around you beginning to shift.
Oh
As in-
shit!
It's getting very heavy all of a sudden. Specifically only around you. The other tech priests are all now murmuring something in binary. Could you roll me a secret tongue tech?
Is there anything I could do to try and fix this situation?
You're an arbitrator
Yeah, you
outside of the
try.
jurisdiction. The most you
No.
can do is start shooting people and pray that that's enough. Yeah, you don't know what they're saying. This is something you either haven't heard it or you don't remember
Well, this
hearing.
is new.
I assume I'm in pain now.
It's slowly growing on you. Your limbs begin to feel heavier than normal.
I'm gonna cry out in binary and request that they don't harm the arbitrate.
I don't care about myself. I'm worried about that. We're gonna lose our only tech
Yeah, Amber,
priest.
you're not in this like circle of anti-gravity.
I'm just.
You're outside of it.
I'm outside. Look at this giant. These group of giants, metal giants, looking down with another metal giant. I'm very confused. And like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, the tech priests of this world, some of them are natives and some of them may be off-worlders, so the maximum height here, excluding the Magos, is about 6 foot dead. The minimum is about 5'8".
I'm 5'11". They beat me.
Some people beat you, some people don't.
Yay!
The Magos definitely does by about 3 feet.
Yeah,
But,
he does.
yeah. He's just staring at you, Radius. I need you to make a toughness test.
When he said he's not a part of the Mechanicum, did he say that in binary or in
Oh yeah,
Gothic?
the Magos can't speak Logothic anymore.
Oh,
He can only speak binary. No, I joke, but you know.
shit.
Oh dear God, no. It's not as bad as you think, though. Yeah. You have a couple less fingers than you did before you came here, Radius.
You lose the pinkies.
Not
How
just
many
the
fingers?
Roll a d10.
Don't aim for 10.
Fucking 10.
10. All your fingers fall off.
3.
You lose 3 fingers from
That's not so bad.
iPad. Yeah. And you notice the gravity is pulling down on you quite hard that you have to have your head lowered because you physically can't raise it anymore. That's how powerful the gravity around you is. You notice your arms begin to like raise, your legs begin to stretch a bit. As if
They're
something's
removing
pulling
all
at
the
your limbs.
implants.
Can
As if you're pulling at something's pulling at your limbs.
I see this happening?
Yes, you can visibly see his limbs beginning to stretch.
Well, okay, I need a second to think. Give me a second to think. What can I do to save Radius and possibly help him back into the Mechanicum? Do we need a tech priest?
There is nothing you can do.
There's nothing really you can do. Radius, you could roll me a common law machine cult, because there is some things you can think of that can get you out of this.
And for the love of God, use the fate point if you need it.
Yes!
Right now, you should have used it long ago.
We should have fucked off long ago.
Can I put any
You should have
modifiers
used
on
it
it?
when I
Because I'm
suggested
afraid
it.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I'll give you a plus 20 because it's fairly well known.
Yes.
The thing that I'm thinking of is fairly well known. Oh God, no. You think
Use
of
the
something,
fate point.
but you think of something, but it's not
Wait,
coming
hold
to
on,
mind.
hold on. I have training machine cult. It's not saying that I do in this. That was
Did
a
you-
17.
Did you tick it?
Yeah, no, I didn't tick it.
Did you actually buy it? Because Forge Worlders get it as a basic skill, but
Yeah.
unless you spent 100 XP to buy it, then no, you
Oh
rolled
yeah,
it.
then no, I would have base value. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
Would I know that he's a Megos, or would I just think big ass tech priest?
Definitely a big deal within the Mechanicus is all you would know about him.
You know he's a fancy tech priest.
You know he's one of the boss men.
Oh, God, it's got
You
worse.
rolled worse.
You rolled worse. Yeah, you can't think of it. It was something it was on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't remember.
But
Okay.
your tongue has now fallen off.
Radius, do you want Amber to help you, or do you want her just to watch you get crushed and ripped apart?
I'm gonna scream again. Don't harm the arbitrator in binary.
Again,
As
you're
the
saying this in
increases.
binary. I can't help.
Again-
I don't know what
Again,
you're saying.
you don't get any response from any of them. They all just seem to be using some kind of maglev capacitor to effectively, more or less, force the oxygen around you to just get heavier, as well as pulling. So they're causing a sort of circulation where the gravity is going up or going down, getting heavier. It's getting heavier and it's pulling away from you.
Excuse me, tech priest. Do any of them look at me, or do they just think I'm a flesh bag and don't pay attention?
One of the Skitari nearest to you turns to look at you, and is just sort of like buzzing at you slightly.
I don't speak buzz.
Switching to Logothic. What?
What are they doing to my ward?
Ward? Question mark.
The tech priest they're surrounding looks like, are they crushing him, or I don't really understand what's going
We
on.
in the Mechanicus call it gravitational execution.
Well, no, hey, shit. Can you get them to stop or get there?
Leave me. This is a nice way to die.
Amber, demand a trial.
There are
I
worse ways to die within the Mechanicus.
I have no jurisdiction over this.
Yeah, Amber, your best guess is that this is a trial.
Yes.
They've deemed him guilty and they put him to the chopping block.
The
The Magos was the judge, the others were the
Witnesses.
jury, and they all just went, no, he broke a servo skull. That's very holy to us, so that's a bit of a minor heresy,
A
so we're going to
servo
kill you
skull,
and turning you into some kind of
A data
servitor.
slate and
Giant-
insulted one of the members.
I whistle as loud as I can to try to symbol some form of crude binary. Hey, giant tech priest.
The Skitari basically like pushes you a bit and says, you will address him as Magos Iacton.
Magos Ioton.
For a moment, the gravity stops pulling on you, Radius. It's still heavy, so you can hardly move. In fact, you can't move, really. But you're not being killed, so to say, anymore. And the giant tech priest, as you call him, Amber, moves his head slowly to stare at you. And in fairly good Logothic, he just says, "What do you want, arbitrator?" Apologies, 1 second. What do you want, arbitrator?
Wait, would I know that breaking a servo skull is a crime?
It's not a crime. It's heresy, said the tech priests.
Would I know that or no?
Probably not. You would know that breaking a servo skull does tend to piss off tech priests. You've seen it before, and the tech priests, oh boy, did they get pissed. It's like, this lot, when they see a servo skull or a servitor being tampered with, it pisses them off to the point where you might as well compare them to a redemptionist and you'll get the same thing.
Yeah. Why are you executing Radius? Amber seems kind of stressed out.
He committed a minor heresy.
You mean damaging the servo skull?
He tampered with it.
I'm gonna
causing
cry
it
out.
to shut down and break.
I'm gonna cry out. I was troubleshooting.
Radius,
Your
stay out of this.
troubleshooting got you in trouble. Now shush.
Shush, the grown-ups are talking.
And he looks at you, Amber, and says, you may deem this unfair trial, however, his head will become a servo skull, as penance.
Wait, Sir, we need him. Remember, he's aiding my group in taking back the Factorial that you people want. Let him redeem
I
himself.
understand that.
Yeah. So let him redeem himself by keeping his form and not being a servo skull. We have more use for him as in one piece, as he is, not crushed into a ball.
He looks at you and says, yes, I'm sure the Inquisition wishes for him to remain in one piece too. Does it look like I care?
No, but you.
That was also news to you, as you didn't know that he knew we were Inquisition.
Oh wait, I'm like, wait, oh fucking Radius, and Amber just seems more irritated. Well, I would.
He did not tell me. I found out. He's
Oh.
not very secretive about it.
We realized
It was
that
very simple to think about.
he went to the
Putting
Underhive
you
on day
together.
one since we've been here, so we understand. That's why I'm here. Tried to make sure something like this wouldn't happen, but sadly it did.
Seems you failed then.
Yes, I need to work on that. But anyways, sir.
In light of your inquisitorial service, if you can explain to me why this one deserves to live, we will overlook his heresy. If not, Well, and he holds a hand out at Radius, and the gravity just intensifies so much on you, Radius, that you feel your like bones beginning to like get a bit too far away from each other. And it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Is this when fingers come popping off?
This is when you take 7 damage.
Oh fuck. Radius,
Minus your tongue.
Radius, pull up the backup sheet. Your favorite character. Okay. And he wants you to explain why the Inquisition needs him.
He just wants an explanation as to why he should bother to leave him alive.
Well, since we're doing the raid on the Factorum, he's the only one who properly knows the floor plans in our group. And last time I checked, or when he told us, you don't have enough members to spare to aid us in this mission. We need his help properly entering the building and ensuring as little collateral damage as possible. That building was nothing more than twigs. Without him, I know very well our guardsmen would go grenade happen and bring that place down.
Updating files. There are 3 inquisitorial operatives on the planet.
Shit.
And he says,
Wait,
Thank God he doesn't know about me yet.
I have a question. Would they want... Wait. Would they want the Heretic brought back alive or dead? Which one would they prefer more?
oh, definitely alive, so they can torture the fucker.
Wait. Perhaps we could bring someone to take his place. We know there's a Heretic within the building. We can bring it back alive for you to take out penance. He already
Do
committed...
you know their identification?
What? I don't even... I'm pretty sure I won't know.
No, you've no fucking clue. You're taking the word of an enforcer.
No, I don't know the identification. I know that there's a tech priest. Went into the Factorum earlier today with 2 servitors. One of them was a gun servitor. And what was the second one? Or were they both gun servitors?
The enforcer didn't know. It wasn't a gun servitor.
It looked like one, or just...
No, the servitor had a implanted sort of chain weapon in it, as for a hand, but...
Well, that... I may say it was a... Okay, wait. He went into the Factorum with what looked like a mockery of the Scutari. We can destroy Tech Heresy and bring back a high Heresy Tech Priest, rather than a low one like Radius here.
The Magos looks at Radius for a moment, looks back at you, and he says something in binary to one of the Scutari. Radius, your ears are ringing, so you can't make anything out. But one of the Scutari goes and stands next to you, Amber. And he says, this one will go and subdue the Tech Priest.
What about Radius?
He looks at Radius for a moment, tilts his head, looks back at you. For his sake, you better bring that heretic back alive.
And look at this Scutari. You're sitting as a Scutari with us. If we fail, he'll just kill us all.
That is correct. Failure, and he will administer the remainder of the execution to Radius. This Scutari just like pushes a button on its Hellgun, and it just makes a sort of powering up noise, as if he's implying that he's turned his safety off. Not that there are safeties on Hellguns, but you know.
That seems fair, sir. Thank you for the second chance. And I
The
kind of...
Tech Priests then unfurl their arms in Radius, the gravity returns to normal around you.
I bow to the freaking... I bow to him. Would I give him the scar of the symbol of the Aquila or the symbol of the Mechanicus to show that
You
I'm
probably wouldn't know what the symbol of the cog is, but if you were Aquila sign, he'll understand the gesture at least.
I do the sign of the Aquila and bow.
Time out first, 1 second. We've been with Radius enough to sort of... Would she be able to mimic the sign from him?
In the book Mechanicus, it says that No, somebody with human hands made the cog, and it was actually really impressive to tech priests because it's really hard to do with fleshy digits.
Can I try to do it?
Roll me a fellowship at -30.
Oh god.
You know what? Maybe not.
Followed by a toughness test not to break
I
hands.
mean, worst case scenario. I mean, they get the idea that I'm trying to show you things.
Just make the Aquila,
God.
dude.
No. You
They're gonna kill me.
Once I try,
you try, but they don't understand what you're doing, and they just sort of tilt their heads and just walk back inside.
once I realize, I said, "Oh fuck it, let's do the Aquila to him and just bow." Fuck.
Yeah. They all just walk inside. The Skitari begin to stand by the door. And yeah, there's just now this Skitari who's just basically replaced the servo skull.
Did they take Radius, or Radius still with us?
Radius, he's probably fallen on his knees and is all like just trying to get his bearings back.
Yeah.
There was a lot of gravitational pull on you.
Radius? Amber walks over to him, sounding kind of caring and looking down at him. Are you okay?
Do I hear Amber yet?
You hear a sort of.
I'm gonna look at Amber. I'm going to assume that I heard that, and I'm gonna start nodding my head
Good.
like the fleshies do.
And I smack you upside the head. Don't mess with servo skulls.
I kind of wince from the hit, not really trying to block or anything.
Did the Skitari say anything when I do that to him?
It just emits a beeping noise. Radius, the Skitari is laughing at you. He's laughing very, very, very annoyingly. He's full on like he's doing well to Amber. He's just sort of going. To us, it's the equivalent to someone laughing at a Jim Jeffries joke. Like, he's fallen over completely, like, pulling his eyes out at how funny he found that.
I made this Skitari laugh. I don't know how to feel about that.
I think I'm tempted to say, congrats.
Oh god, and I helped Radius up and I started taking him back to the freaking hotel. Ugh.
Yeah, the Skitari is following you.
Oh, I think I can walk. I still have 6 health points.
I'm still
Or
helping
9.
you. Just to maybe start helping you speed up the fucking recovery. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so you've got the Skitari following you now. If the diameter of people around you wasn't big enough, it's now even bigger because you've got a 6 foot tall walking block of armor armed to the teeth following you.
Okay, quick question. Could a Skitari beat a Space Marine one-on-one?
A Skitari could at least stand up on its own to a Space Marine for a while. Bear in mind its gun has a pen of 7, so yeah, it could probably, with a lot of good dice rolls, it could probably take on a Space Marine. I mean, they are their own army in 40k, and they're pretty lethal to look at.
Yeah.
At least a Skitari Vanguard could probably take one on fairly effectively. This one appears to be a sort of Ranger variant.
Okay.
It's one of those home defense ones.
Quick question. How much was the hospital bill? I mean, how much did it cost to start patching us up at the hospital we went to?
It was... You mean the shack?
The shack, yeah.
It was 50 thrones.
Oh, fuck that. Never mind. Radius, start healing yourself.
Heal yourself, boy.
I proceed to masturbate.
Amber slaps you if you do this.
The Skitari laughs even more.
Joking, obviously. Like, I don't have Medicaid or anything to heal myself.
Okay, I'm probably going to hit Radius on the head as soon as they get back and I get told about this because
Okay, quick question. How much cash do we all have together?
I have nothing.
I have 6 throws.
Not
Never mind.
enough.
You see, this is why I need to learn Medicaid. Because Radius won't, and we need a fucking doctor.